The outer edge of the Reincarnation Sea, originally an endless expanse, free from any external influence, the Reincarnation Sea now finds itself tainted by countless thick, foul-smelling black demonic clouds that float within it, completely polluting the sea and distorting its once pristine nature. The concentration of evil energy here has reached an appalling level, easily concealing the vast Reincarnation Sea beneath its oppressive presence. Even the distinctive aura of reincarnation has been perfectly hidden. A true massacre slowly begins to unfold within the sea. At the outermost edge of the Reincarnation Sea, on a broad rock, an extraordinary power seems to offer protection, preventing the encroaching evil forces from tainting it. At this moment, a crowd of figures has gathered here, including peak experts from all corners of the great thousand worlds and reincarnators who came seeking to drive back the outer forces and awaken those slumbering within. Damn, am I too late? When Xiao arrived and looked at the thick demonic sea beyond the rock, he couldn't help but feel moved. The forces sent by the outer realms to corrupt the Reincarnation Sea are certainly beyond imagination. So many, and so strong, that it's impossible to gauge their true power. But Xiao knows clearly that, no matter the dangers lurking within the Reincarnation Sea, he must enter. For inside lies not only the elders of his Xiao clan, but also many powerful figures from the Great Thousand Worlds. If left unchecked, the sea would fall entirely into the hands of the outer realms, leaving the Great Thousand Worlds severely weakened. Losing such power in the midst of the Second Heaven and Earth War would undoubtedly harm the entire world. Ryup. As Xiao arrived, the space above the rock suddenly twisted, and a series of notable figures flashed into existence. Is this the leader of the Endless Flame Alliance? In an instant, a frail, elderly man, carrying a gray stone coffin on his back, slowly emerged from the void. Despite the distance between him and Xiao, the elderly man couldn't help but gaze at Xiao with great interest. The Lord of the Immortal Sacred Graveyard, a peak eightfold reincarnation expert. Xiao narrowed his eyes, and even a single glance at the elderly man caused the sea of his soul to churn. This man's true nature was unfathomable. It wasn't that the elder's soul power exceeded Xiao but Xiao could faintly sense that the aura surrounding this immortal sacred graveyard lord was extremely dangerous. The descendant of the Xiao clan really has luck on his side. At the same time, a grim-faced middle-aged man appeared beside the immortal sacred lord, immediately sneering at Xiao. The hatred and murderous intent in his eyes were unmistakable. But no matter his dissatisfaction, today was not the day for conflict. Both he and the immortal sacred lord had been sent by the supreme ones of the center of the human realm to assist the Reincarnation Sea. The lord of the ancient heavenly palace, an old foe. Upon seeing the figure, Xiao wasn't surprised at all. A twisted smile crept onto his lips, tinged with a trace of malice. Thinking back, if it hadn't been for the push from the ancient heavenly palace back then, how could Xiao have wiped out the mastermind in the Hell Realm? He still owed the ancient heavenly palace a debt of gratitude. Now, with the ancient heavenly palace's lord only at the eightfold reincarnation level, Xiao was confident that he could completely defeat him here. Once this is over, I'll have my forces join you. After all, our immortal sacred graveyard was once an ally of the Xiao clan. After a brief moment of thought, the immortal sacred lord spoke slowly. His faith in the Endless Flame Alliance had grown immensely after the ancient heavenly palace had targeted Xiao during the Hell Tribulation. Joining now might be a good decision. Xiao couldn't help but shrug and smile. While he didn't give a clear answer, he already had a plan in mind. Even if they couldn't offer help in the past, now they dared to join the Endless Flame Alliance? It was nothing but a dream. You old fool actually want to join the Endless Flame Alliance? The lord of the ancient heavenly palace sneered, mocking the immortal sacred lord. Despite the shock brought by the presence of that other force, he still feared Xiao rapid growth. After all, Xiao cultivation speed and talent were simply beyond his reach. I had many doubts about the Endless Flame Alliance, but I hope Lord Xiao won't hold it against me. At this moment, The immortal Sacred Lords faction was no longer directly under the orders of the Supreme Ones from the center of the human realm. It was merely a cooperative relationship. A few people were slowly conversing, but each harbored their own secret plans. Over time, the figures on the rocky outcrop grew denser, yet not a single person dared step into the Reincarnation Sea. It was as if everyone was waiting, trying to enter together. Now, the Reincarnation Sea, surrounded by demonic energy and polluted by dark clouds, was a place filled with danger. Even the sevenfold reincarnation experts present knew that if they recklessly entered, they would likely meet a pointless death. Xueying, brother. As more people arrived, a light, melodious voice slowly appeared in front of Xueying. Xun'er, you're here. Upon hearing the voice, Xueying smiled casually. He then opened his arms, pulling the slender figure into an embrace. However, unnoticed by others, a weathered book subtly shifted from Xun'er's arms into Xueying's hands. The book recorded the reincarnator's journey, the Book of Reincarnation. This sacred item would be immensely helpful for their journey into the Reincarnation Sea. Xueying wasn't foolish enough to show it off in front of so many people, so he kept the exchange discreet. Indeed, without this, if we enter the Reincarnation Sea, we'd be in grave danger. Right now, their goal seems to be uniting everyone's strength to wipe out the extraterritorial forces, but I believe the extraterritorial realm won't fall so easily. We must act alone. Xueying secretly tucked the book away and nodded after confirming its reincarnation aura. He then glanced at the pair before him, especially the one in a purple dress, exuding a cold, ethereal aura, like a transcendent being untouched by the mundane world, graceful and unattainable, making others envious. Greetings, Alliance Leader. Soon after, Xueying, clad in silver demon armor and wielding a demon sword, arrived. Her eyes locked onto Xueying, and the ferocity in her gaze sent ripples of unease through those around them. Yingying. Yingying also arrived. The three key reincarnators from the Endless Flame Alliance, along with the Alliance leader, formed a powerful and illustrious group, immediately drawing the attention of everyone on the rocks. As these figures conversed, many nearby couldn't help but cast strange looks. Some envied Xueying's position, but his strength and status made him untouchable, so their envy was buried silently. Since we're here, let's not waste any more time. Up ahead lies the Reincarnation Sea, though the situation doesn't seem promising. We have urgent matters to attend to, so we'll leave you all to it. Xueying cupped his hands in a polite salute to the gathered powerhouses, a smile on his face, but the killing intent in his eyes became ever more apparent. Xueying, why the hurry? The Reincarnation Sea has its own rules. Just as Xueying and his group were about to move forward into the Reincarnation Sea, a discordant voice rang out from the crowd. It was the voice of the Lord of the ancient heavenly palace. What guidance do you have? Xueying halted the subtle anger of the three women beside him, then turned to face the Lord of the ancient heavenly palace, who was surrounded by people. The ancient heavenly palace was a faction under the command of the human realm center. This time, they were tasked with gathering powerful forces from across the great thousand worlds to hunt the extraterritorial evil clan in the Reincarnation Sea. Naturally, Xueying didn't want to join them on their journey. The most important reason for this was that within the Reincarnation Sea lay the slumbering elders Xueying and Xiao of the Xiao clan. If they defeated the extraterritorial forces, these two elders would likely fall into the hands of the human realm center, a situation Xueying did not want to see. Therefore, before the battle with the extraterritorial forces, he needed to awaken and rescue them, laying the foundation for future Xiao clan rescues. Humph! The calamity has arrived, and the superpowers of the great thousand worlds are now entrusted with a crucial mission. We should unite against the extraterritorial forces. How can you act alone, driven by personal desires? If your actions ruin our plans, what will you be held accountable for? Are you trying to challenge the supreme authority of the human realm center? The Lord of the ancient heavenly palace seemed certain of his position. Under orders from the human realm center, he was to capture elders Xueying and others, so he would never allow Xueying's group to act alone. Lord of the ancient heavenly palace, you are speaking nonsense. Since ancient times, no one has ever established the rules of the Reincarnation Sea. We've come here only to seek the reincarnation, not to be bound by your plans. As for the extraterritorial evil clan, don't worry. We have our own methods to deal with them. Let's go. In the face of the ancient heavenly palace lord's sharp words, Xiao sneered coldly, showing no intention of backing down. Without another word, Xiao and his companions abruptly leapt into the tumultuous Reincarnation Sea, filled with demonic power. Did they think they could suppress him with the human realm center? Unfortunately, they had forgotten that many of the human realm's strongest were already embroiled in the fierce attacks from the extraterritorial forces. They had no time to spare on capturing Xiao until Xiao and his companions had completely disappeared. A trace of admiration finally surfaced in the eyes of the immortal sacred sovereign. The evil clan leading the attack on the Reincarnation Sea is made up of the three great saint clans. With his strength at the 8th reincarnation stage, it's likely he will just be walking into his own grave. Though the figures on the rocks watched Xiao with some respect, after weighing the situation, they refrained from acting hastily. Instead, they simply watched as Xiao and his group vanished, a sense of regret slowly rising in their hearts. How could 4 individuals possibly contend with several experts from the sacred clans? This guy is too reckless. Still too young. Enough of the small talk. We must begin. The Reincarnation Sea is of utmost importance. The reincarnated powerhouses sleeping here and the extraterritorial evil clan attacking must be awakened and eradicated. At the lead of the immortal sacred sovereign, several strong experts from the 7th and 8th reincarnation stages began moving slowly toward the depths of the Reincarnation Sea. This little brat will get what's coming to him one day. The lord of the ancient, heavenly palace suppressed his displeasure and anger for now. The army of the extraterritorial evil clan was far more terrifying than Xiao could ever be. Xiao and his companions had split from the main force and leaped into the polluted Reincarnation Sea. Before long, they found themselves in a desolate desert. Nothing grew here. The ground was covered in yellow sand, and the entire space was filled with an eerie sense of desolation, as if it had been ravaged by locusts. It seems some kind of evil power destroyed this place, Xiao observed, but his heart was filled with confusion. It's said that powerful beings from the angel kingdom have guarded the Reincarnation Sea for generations. Now that the sea has been polluted, the guardians here have likely met with disaster. From my perception, this place is filled with faint traces of reincarnation energy clashing with evil power. Hovering in the sky above the desert, Xun'er couldn't help but speak up, her voice filled with concern. The Reincarnation Sea is just a vast area that houses countless reincarnation tombs, where strong beings trapped in reincarnation sleep. Now that the extraterritorial evil clan has polluted it, without precise spatial coordinates, it's hard to locate the reincarnation tombs using only the reincarnation seal. The owner of this reincarnation tomb may already be lost. Yingying's face tightened, her innate sensitivity to evil energy heightened by the sacred flame power within her. The polluted Reincarnation Sea is fraught with danger. We must act quickly. The Book of Reincarnation holds the coordinates for the reincarnation tombs. Let's go. The moment her voice fell, the 4 of them vanished once more, following the guidance within the Book of Reincarnation to head deeper into the Reincarnation Sea. Lord Xueying, we still haven't found the reincarnation tombs of Xiao and Xiao. Their resting place seems to be incredibly well hidden. What do you think? A voice spoke in the murky, evil energy-infested depths of the Reincarnation Sea. The other 2 lords have already gone to the far end of the Reincarnation Sea, preparing an endless killing trap, trying to capture all the powerful beings residing in the Reincarnation Sea, as well as those from the Great Thousand World who have come to aid them. Our time is running out. Understood. As the void shifted, Xiao and his companions broke through numerous barriers and quietly arrived at a canyon deep within the Reincarnation Sea. The space twisted, and from within, evil black shadows with distorted, terrifying faces emerged, standing in midair, staring down at the 4 of them with menacing glares. After exterminating the 2 guardians of the Reincarnation Sea, The extraterritorial evil clan had entered the sea, continuously destroying the reincarnation tombs. Except for a few that were hidden or protected by powerhouses, nearly half of the reincarnation tombs had been obliterated, and their occupants had perished. The depths of the Reincarnation Sea were now the most heavily concentrated area of the extraterritorial evil clan's forces. Xiao stood in the air, his gaze sweeping over the dark, abyss-like canyon below. A surge of excitement filled his blood, as his senses detected the faint remnants of an ominous, yet powerful energy. Looking at the canyon below, a moment of realization hit Xiao, and a joyful expression spread across his face. This was most likely where the first elder Xiao was resting. The third elder of the Xiao clan had reached the half-step 9th reincarnation stage. Xiao didn't believe the first elder's strength was merely at the 8th reincarnation stage. After all, the reincarnation mark left in the endless fire domain had empowered Demon Tuo to break through to the 8th reincarnation stage with just a trace of residual power. Deep in the canyon, the endless darkness seemed to harbor an extremely terrifying force. From Xiao perception and the fluctuations of reincarnation energy, he could sense two completely different energies clashing. "Are you certain?" Xun'er's brows furrowed, turning to Xueying with a questioning glance. With the first elder's reincarnation seal within her, Xueying could sense more specific details. The first elder's reincarnation tomb should be located deep within this canyon. After a moment, the reincarnation seal on Xueying's forehead pulsed slightly, suddenly shimmering with an ancient ripple of energy, making her appear extraordinarily radiant. "Lord Xueying, Xiao has taken 3 women into a gorge deep within the Reincarnation Sea, a terrifying area that has effortlessly annihilated several of our 7-fold reincarnation stage experts. What a coincidence this is. It came without any effort. Follow them. Xiao, I must thank you for guiding me on this journey." Russell. Effortlessly dispatching the evil shadows that lingered around the gorge, Xiao and the 3 women began to move directly. The 4 jumped into the abyss of the gorge. In an instant, it felt as if their powers had all but vanished, the overwhelming sensation of weightlessness causing them to plummet like meteors into the depths below. Darkness enveloped the 4, while a wave of confusion and unease stirred within their hearts. Yet, guided by the Book of Reincarnation, they plunged into the abyss without hesitation. Is this really the place? Why does the sacred flame within me radiate an unsettling wave? Could it be the scheme of the extraterritorial evil clan? As they descended, Yingying's lips dried, and the many sacred flames within her instinctively released a complex wave of emotions. Unease, joy, and sorrow, all coalescing and causing her body to tense, heightened by an ancient aura assaulting her senses, filling her with dread. Splash! Unaware of how long they had fallen, they suddenly felt a slight sound, as the 4 entered an unfamiliar, desolate realm. After passing through a strange, viscous, and pitch-black barrier, they successfully emerged from the dark abyss into a new world at the end of the gorge. The process of penetrating the mysterious barrier was most perilous for Xiao and Xueying. Their bodies, bloodlines, and even souls seemed to meander within the power contained in the barrier, sending tremors through their minds, as if some transcendent force was inspecting their bodies to determine whether they were qualified to enter. That probing was inescapable. Had they not possessed Xiao's bloodline power and the reincarnation seal on Xueying's forehead, they likely would have been ejected or even slain by the barrier. As they broke through and entered the new world below, shock filled their eyes. For below the gorge there was not a trace of evil aura. It was distinctly a brand new realm. Upon arriving in this new world, the group stood suspended in midair, gazing down. In the hazy and illusory expanse beneath, Xiao faintly sensed an overwhelming pressure pervading the space. Although it did not have a distinctly destructive force, it imposed an immense pressure he had never encountered before. Xiao speculated that such colossal pressure might not even be possessed by a peak expert at the 8th reincarnation stage. As his focus shifted, the world below crystallized into clarity. It was a vast mountain range, desolate and barren, devoid of life. Surrounding them was a scene of devastation, the remnants of shattered troops scattered about, all signs indicating that fierce battles had once erupted here, leaving visible scars from the conflicts. After a brief survey, the four wore solemn expressions, for the extraterritorial evil clan had already seized the Reincarnation Sea, and whether this area had been affected was yet uncertain. Strange, why are the reincarnation seals of the Master of the Nine Mystical Flames and Xiao Lingshan both radiating heat? Could it be that their realm of reincarnation is also here? Xueying glanced at the serious-faced Xiao and then at the coordinates indicated by the Book of Reincarnation, recognizing this as the reincarnation tomb of the first elder, Xiao. Why were the other two powerful figures' reincarnations emitting such strange waves? Having just set foot here, the four stood still in a corner of the mountain range, making no rash moves. However, the perceptive Xueying, through the reincarnation light waves at the centers of the other two women's brows, began to conjecture something. This region was shrouded in mystery and contained hidden dangers. Moments later, Xiao remained still, merely shifting his gaze and soon keenly detecting a very concealed heaven and earth formation enclosing the entire world. Although this formation appeared slightly battered, Xiao could discern from its faint traces that it was undoubtedly a formidable ancient array. Whoever was able to activate or use such a formation was certainly the true overlord of this realm. Yet according to the intelligence gathered by Xun'er regarding the first elder of the Xiao clan, he seemingly wasn't well versed in battle formations, leaving Xiao feeling somewhat perturbed. Although there were some doubts in his heart, Xiao did not focus all his attention on them. He cast his gaze once more, and his immense perception pierced through the layers of mountains, avoiding the constraints and isolation of various forces, probing deeper into the unknown. At the peak of this mountain range, there was a mystical mist hovering, as if concealing some unknown secret. However, in the face of Xiao spiritual power, it was all inconsequential. Looking up, he observed an imposing and quiet structure standing amidst the mysterious clouds and fog at the mountain's core. A suffocating pressure subtly emanated from it. Outside the hall, two endless abysses slowly emerged, while a river resembling a flowing stream separated the great hall from the rest of the mountain's summit. The river was unfathomably deep, its water glowing a fiery red as if it were burning. The entire core of the mountain appeared incredibly mysterious. A hall, a river, and two depths occupied the heart of this mountain range. At this peculiar moment, a reincarnation seal suddenly fell from Xueying's forehead. It flew uncontrollably towards the hall's entrance, cloaked in mist from a great distance away. Xiao was just about to make a move when he noticed the seal glowing, instantly transforming into a palm-sized fire talisman that darted towards the groove above the hall's gate. Inside the hall, there was a groove made of stacked red stones, and the pattern seemed identical to the reincarnation fire talisman that had fallen from Xueying's forehead. The reincarnation seal is actually the key to opening the hall? Witnessing this scene, Xiao felt a surge of emotions. His bloodline power surged vigorously, filling him with exhilaration and a sense of boiling enthusiasm. According to the guidance of the Book of Reincarnation and Xueying's reincarnation seal, this hall was the resting place of the first elder, Xiao, the Yingying heavenly tomb. It is said that even a ninth reincarnation stage powerhouse cannot fathom the mysteries of the Yingying heavenly tomb, which is filled with endless enigmas. Is this really the place? Observing such a mysterious and strange sight, Xun'er and Yingying exchanged glances. For the three reincarnators, it was crucial to prioritize the first elder Xiao. After all, he was the strongest in the entire reincarnation sea. Once he was freed, rescuing Xiao Lingshan or the Master of the Nine Mystical Flames would be no problem at all. Rumble. As the reincarnation seal on Xueying's forehead surged, the doors to the hall at the core of the mountain, a sanctuary of countless reincarnations, slowly opened. The awe-inspiring resounding sound, accompanied by the harsh grinding of gears, echoed throughout the world. The four of them flickered and arrived at the mountain peak, cautiously probing the so-called Yingying heavenly tomb with their perception. Inside the hall, surrounded by swirling clouds and fog, there seemed to be no end in sight. The entire tomb resembled an endless abyss, akin to a chaotic void where space itself was in disarray. The two black holes above the main tomb hall emitted relentless howling power. The river outside the core tomb hall was even more enigmatic, but currently, the reincarnation seal had created a reincarnation light path that filled it, temporarily preventing any obstacles from forming. Inside the tomb hall, it was in ruins, filled with numerous distorted white bones and scattered remnants of warriors, leaving behind horrific traces of a fierce battle. With Xiaoyan's immense perception, he could even discern that many of these skeletal remains bore symbols of extraterritorial royalty. The entire hall was filled with an eerie stillness. However, in this quiet state, the four felt a chilling sense of danger. The most terrifying aspect lay deeper within the hall, where a faint yet overwhelming pressure swept over them, causing Xiaoyan to feel a tense urgency, as if a nebulous presence at the far end was the sole ruler of this world. Even Xiaoyan felt his heart racing under such pressure. The power radiating from this presence was overwhelmingly strong. Even with the Flame God's cauldron and various forces at his disposal, Xiaoyan doubted he would stand a chance against it. "You all stay here and keep watch. I'll go in and take a look. If the first elder sleeps here, I will surely awaken him." After a moment of hesitation, Xiaoyan spoke seriously to the three women beside him. While they possessed reincarnation, their strength had not yet succeeded in the process, and thus they lacked the capacity to face the current situation. He didn't want them to bear the brunt of this danger. After all, this circumstance was perilous. If he brought them along, it would only complicate matters. Xiaoyan's voice had barely fallen when Xun'er spoke up, her tone resolute, effectively cutting off Xiaoyan's good intentions. No matter what had happened in the past, with danger lurking everywhere within the reincarnation sea, she wouldn't allow Xiaoyan to risk his life alone. "Although our strength may not match yours, the three of us together are not to be underestimated. Besides, we've come this far, so it's impossible to turn back now." Yingying straightened her body, clearly in agreement with Xun'er. As one of the masters of the boundless fire domain, how could she not assist Xiaoyan? "Since that's the case, let's go. No time to waste." Xueying turned slightly, gazing at the two women with a hint of envy. "The tomb palace is full of dangers. Once we're inside, you must follow my lead." "Understood." As soon as her words fell, the four of them felt a subtle tremor in their bodies, cautiously heading toward the palace. If not for the help of the reincarnation seal's power, they would likely have faced a terrifying crisis while crossing that mysterious river. "My lord, what do you think?" Just as the four of them entered the tomb palace, a massive army of black figures appeared on the horizon. Their black robes were stained with demonic blood, clearly the result of expending considerable energy to break through the strange demonic barrier. "There's no rush. Let's wait for them to wake the others, and then we'll reap the benefits. With my peak 8th reincarnation stage strength, do you really think these guys can escape?" Water Child Throne gave a slight smile, and his eerie voice echoed throughout the world. One of the three great saint clans, Water Child Throne, at the peak of the 8th reincarnation stage, was certainly not someone to be taken lightly. "Your wisdom is unparalleled, Lord." Hearing Water Child Throne's response, the surrounding shadows began to move, setting up countless wicked traps throughout the land. When Xiaoyan and the others stepped into the Yingying Heavenly Tomb Palace, an inexplicable pressure seemed to envelop them. It felt as though they had fallen into a trap set by someone else, unable to retreat, only able to cautiously move forward. Among the four, Xiaoyan and Xueying felt it the most. The powers within Xiaoyan's body began to slow. Even his soul felt somewhat disoriented. In contrast, Xueying's delicate face tightened, and the reincarnation seal on her forehead seemed to tear at her consciousness, causing her immense torment. Despite these changes, Xiaoyan ignored the surroundings, slowly raising his head to survey the vast expanse of the tomb palace, trying to locate the great elder's reincarnation search. Looking up, the Yingying Heavenly Tomb was so vast and magnificent that the four of them felt like tiny ants. No matter how many brutal battles had scarred this place, there was no trace of evil energy. Instead, an ancient aura slowly spread across the land, as if protecting something. Within the tomb, countless peaks stood silently, each engraved with intricate patterns, as if guarding some living being. Surrounding them were deep, bottomless black cracks in the earth, from which eerie winds emerged, leaving a chilling feeling in the heart. What a brutal battle! After a moment's hesitation, Yingying's eyes relaxed slightly, her voice tinged with astonishment. What kind of immense battle could have ravaged this place to such an extent? At least, an ordinary 8th reincarnation stage expert would not have been able to achieve this. The attributes of the powers in these mountains vary, as if they're guarding something. And though the peaks on the outskirts aren't destroyed, those within are in a miserable state. Xun'er also noticed this, then slowly spoke. Look! Not long after, Xueying's cold, beautiful face shifted, and she tremblingly raised her finger to the sky, pointing at the countless peaks. Her voice was almost breathless. In the sky above the peaks, 3 white glowing tombs, like mirages, appeared faintly. 3 reincarnation tombs. As Xueying used her reincarnation seal to sense, the group finally realized. In the sky above the mountains, 3 white reincarnation tombs hovered in silence. The largest one at the forefront belongs to the Great Elder. The other 2 belong to Xiao and the Master of the 9 Mystical Flames. At that moment, all 3 women activated the reincarnation seals on their foreheads. After a brief pause, a rare joy flashed in their hearts. This method of arranging tombs has long been lost. The 3 are interlinked, coexisting as one. It resembles the ancient self-preservation formation of your Xiao clan. Looking at the 3 glowing tombs, although they had identified the reincarnated powerhouses within, Xueying shook her head slightly. Clearly, such things were not simple, and they made her feel a sense of caution. Xueying, formerly a protector of the Xiao clan, had now inherited numerous legacies from the demon realm, making it easy for her to understand these matters. However, Xiaoyan and the others beside her only had a vague understanding, as such formations were too obscure and difficult to comprehend. The Triad Coexistence Formation. This is a very peculiar formation. Once activated, the lives of the caster and the bound individuals become completely intertwined for a certain period of time. One honors, all honor. Combined with the 2 black holes outside the tomb hall, this must be the method Elder Xiaoyan used to protect those 2 esteemed beings. Xueying, her mind troubled, spoke her thoughts aloud, piece by piece. What is the mystery behind this formation? Xun'er and Yingying exchanged a glance. They had only a partial understanding of formations from ancient times. Though the formation doesn't possess terrifying power, it serves as an excellent safeguard for the 3 light tombs, preventing them from falling into the wrong hands. This place has witnessed countless fierce battles, and without Elder Xiaoyan's formation, the other 2's reincarnations would have shattered long ago. Xueying spoke again, voicing the thoughts that had been swirling in her mind. Is the formation dangerous? Xiaoyan's immense spiritual power had no effect on his perception for the time being, so he turned to Xueying and asked, We 3 possess the reincarnation seal, and with the sacred flame present, it poses no danger to us. Xueying replied firmly, though she did not mention the dangers that lay within the cycle of reincarnation itself. Since it's not dangerous, let's begin preparations. The time required for reincarnation is still uncertain. Once you enter the reincarnation tomb, I will guard you here day and night. Xiaoyan spoke with determination, his voice full of seriousness. Elder Xiaoyan, the war goddess of the Xiao clan Xiao, and the beloved of the Phoenix clan's leader, the master of the 9 mystical flames. These 3 were of immense importance to them. The 3 women nodded simultaneously, focusing their efforts to activate the reincarnation seal on their foreheads, slowly channeling their power toward the 3 reincarnation light tombs. The 3 supreme beings had been trapped in reincarnation for countless eons. If they wished to forcibly awaken them, the reincarnation seal had to be used as a guide to personally enter the tomb. If successful, these powerful beings would awaken, and the 3 women would gain the true power of reincarnation. But if they failed, they would likely be lost in the long river of history, a perilous gamble. Russell. Everyone. Why are you in such a hurry? Just as the three women approached the reincarnation light tombs, the surrounding void suddenly twisted in a bizarre manner. The three light tombs and countless mountain peaks trembled violently, as if encountering a terrifying power that left them in awe. Boom! The deafening sound of heavenly demonic resonance surged out from the hall, turning into waves of chaotic space-time currents that shook the mountains, causing them to hum with intense vibration. An overwhelmingly evil demonic energy gathered in the high skies above the mountains, forming a dark tunnel. Inside the tunnel, countless evil auras swirled, and at the end of these auras, a massive figure slowly emerged. When this human-like figure fully appeared before Xueying and the others, thick demonic power cascaded from him like an energy tide. Many mountain peaks were easily crushed, squeezed, and soon turned to dust that filled the sky. A Saint Clan expert? Looking at the countless evil shadows in the dark tunnel, which seemed as numerous as ants, and sensing the overwhelming, soul-shaking evil power radiating from this massive figure, Xueying's eyelids twitched violently. This was the most troublesome enemy he had encountered since entering the 8th reincarnation stage. Elder Xueying's reincarnation tomb. It really wasn't hard to find. The water child throne's deep, unfeeling eyes concealed endless murderous intent. A casual glance at the world around him revealed the anomalies surrounding the three reincarnation light tombs. The three light tombs were connected by some unbreakable bond, and even the faint fluctuations emanating from them sent a chill down his spine. But so what? They had already fallen into slumber. How could they be a match for him? You all retreat. This place is now under my control. Or do you wish to fight me? The water child throne's demonic shadow, with eyes devoid of emotion, locked onto Xueying, then spoke with hatred. A mere 8th reincarnation stage, and still attempting to protect these three women. How could you possibly contend with me and the countless evil soldiers behind me? Poof! As the water child throne's demonic shadow's gaze fixed on Xueying and the others, immense pressure suddenly manifested on the three women, causing their bodies to tremble slightly, as if they were about to kneel before the immense force at any moment. Their current power was nowhere near sufficient to resist the oppressive might of the 8th reincarnation stage peak, the water child throne. You three go on ahead. Xueying watched the terrifying assault from his opponent, gritting his teeth. The sacred flame within his body began to rise slowly, and there wasn't a trace of fear in his pitch-black eyes. He met the opponent's gaze head-on. But, looking at the catastrophic situation unfolding, Yingying couldn't help but feel some sorrow in her heart. If we don't go in now, there won't be time left. In the next moment, Xueying nearly roared, his voice booming. A mere expert of the sacred clan, though it increased his pressure, was not someone he couldn't defeat. However, if the three women didn't choose to help him now, once the other two sacred clan experts arrived, not only would Xueying's life be in danger, but even the three reincarnation light tombs in front of them would be in grave peril. Yingying. Just as Yingying was about to speak again, Xun'er sternly intervened, stopping her in her tracks. The situation hadn't changed much yet, but one wrong move and everyone would be plunged into an irredeemable catastrophe. This is the origin flame of the sacred flame. It should help you. No, sigh. Xueying had intended to refuse, but when he saw Xun'er's stubborn expression, he swallowed his words just as they were about to leave his mouth. The other two women, noticing Xun'er's serious demeanor, immediately understood the gravity of the situation and followed suit. Go ahead. I believe in you. Leave this to me. As the ancient reincarnation marks flashed on the three women's bodies once more, Xueying finally smiled confidently at them. Go. The three women exchanged a glance, and with the power of the reincarnation seal, they transformed into waves of light, rushing straight into the reincarnation tomb. Wanna leave? Not without asking me first. The water sprout's sacred throne seemed to have anticipated this. As he watched the three women hastily move, he waved his hand, and suddenly, a black river, thousands of miles long, appeared around him. Within the river, countless scarlet, blinding blood rays surged. This celestial river likely contained the blood of thousands, if not millions, of human lives.